Japan is admired for its advanced technology, rich culture, and major global companies, ranking as the world's fourth largest economy. However, Japan has its darker sides that many people are still unaware of. Millions in Japan live in isolation, feeling disconnected from a society that once promised prosperity. Known as the lost generation, they represent around 15% of the population, struggling to find jobs, build relationships, and achieve a traditional life. So what happened to this generation? In today's video, we'll uncover this silent crisis and its implications for Japan's future. Let's go. Number 14. The Japanese Miracle. After World War II, Japan rapidly transformed into an economic powerhouse in what became known as the Japanese Miracle. By the 1980s, Japan's growth raised global concerns, with fears that Japanese corporations might dominate Western markets. This success stemmed from a unique partnership between the government and corporate groups, or keiretsu, like Mitsubishi and Sumitomo. These companies shared resources and received government-backed low-interest loans, fueling growth in the electronics and automotive industries. Strategic protectionism limited foreign competition, allowing domestic firms to thrive. Japanese products became known for quality, boosting exports and GDP. However, by the late year 1980s, Japan's growth had become a speculative bubble, fueled by cheap credit and inflated real estate prices. Overconfidence led to risky investments, while the Bank of Japan kept lending freely, pushing stock and real estate values to unsustainable levels. When the bubble burst in the year 1991, Japan's economy crashed, ending the era of lifetime employment and plunging the country into what became the lost decade of economic stagnation. This shift in the economy created a lost generation faced with new challenges, leaving a lasting impact on Japan's outlook. The lost generation faced significant struggles after the bubble burst. What challenges do you think younger generations face today in your country? Comment and chat with me. However, as with all rapid growth, cracks began to show. So what happens when a miracle turns into a crisis? Number 13. The bubble burst. In the early year 1990s, Japan's booming economy spiraled into a financial bubble driven by rapidly rising stock prices, increasing real estate values, and accessible loans. The bubble burst suddenly, leading to an economic crisis that deeply impacted millions. In the year 1990, Japan's stock market lost nearly half its value, and real estate values declined sharply, erasing significant wealth. Ordinary people saw their savings decrease, and businesses lost access to loans as banks tightened lending. Japan faced an unprecedented crisis, unable to recover quickly. This economic downturn also revealed systemic issues. Government-backed loans kept struggling companies afloat, creating zombie companies engaged in inefficient practices. These companies clung to outdated models, diverting resources that could have supported recovery and becoming symbols of an unproductive system. For young job seekers, the impact was severe. Financial strain kept many young adults dependent on aging parents, creating societal tensions. This dependency, combined with the economic strain, contributed to a declining birth rate and an aging population, with nearly a third of the population now over 65. But what happens when an entire generation is left without hope or stability? In the next segment, we'll dive into the economic crash that set this crisis in motion. Number 12. The lost generation in the ice age of employment. Imagine a future slipping away despite hard work and a degree once promising stability. This is Japan's lost generation, individuals who entered adulthood during the employment ice age following the year 1990's economic downturn. Traditionally, graduates secure jobs through shoshoku katsudo, a structured job hunting process leading to chushin koyo or lifetime employment, but this is typically achieved only if they find success immediately after graduation. However, after the economic bubble burst, hiring froze, leaving young adults with low-paying, temporary jobs and limited advancement opportunities. Even as hiring resumed in the year 2000, many were left in unstable, short-term work, still unable to achieve job security. Now in their 40s and 50s and numbering approximately 15 to 17 million, members of this Ice Age generation face ongoing challenges in building wealth, buying homes, or starting families, often relying on aging parents. Limited spending capacity among this group impacts Japan's economy and adds strain to an aging society where around 30% of the population is over 65. This demographic situation deepens as the lost generation, unable to fully participate in the economy, highlights a growing social imbalance. Beyond financial hardship, many individuals in this generation feel disillusioned, perceiving that society fell short of supporting them. Years of job insecurity have led to mental health struggles, social isolation, and in some cases, social withdrawal. A pressing question remains: can Japan prevent this from recurring, or is it destined to repeat this cycle of stagnation? Caught in a cycle of instability, Japan's youth face more than just financial struggles. But what role did culture play in deepening this crisis? Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal. Number 11. Cultural pressures and the corporate career trap. In Japan, the journey from education to career is viewed as a lifelong commitment, with social expectations pushing young people to secure stable roles right after graduation. Thousands of young adults, dressed in traditional black and white suits, participate in the competitive recruitment season, vying for positions in a system that values lifetime employment. Here, loyalty to a single employer is seen as a path to stability. Missing this key hiring season can narrow future career paths, often leading to temporary or part-time roles with limited potential for advancement. For those fortunate enough to secure positions, especially in esteemed companies, a long-term career is virtually assured. However, career transitions are rare, and starting fresh is unusual. Japan's work culture highly values dedication, particularly from salaried employees, who often put in extended hours as a gesture of commitment. Taking time off, although permitted, is sometimes subtly discouraged, as it may seem to conflict with this ethos. The intense dedication expected in the workplace can have health implications, with overwork being so prevalent that Japan has a term for severe work-related health issues, karoshi. Each year, many individuals in their prime working years face health challenges linked to long hours. Even with the year 2019 work-style reform law, which aims to cap overtime, the cultural expectation for dedication remains deeply ingrained. For younger generations, the traditional model of lifetime employment, once seen as a source of pride and security, increasingly feels restrictive, placing endurance above personal fulfillment. The effects of this work culture extend beyond individuals, touching families, well-being, and the broader society, prompting growing concern among today's youth. Yet not everyone can follow the traditional path. So what happens to those who carve out their own unconventional route in Japanese society? Number 10. Freeter and non-traditional work. Japan's youth in non-permanent jobs. In Japan, an increasing number of young people, referred to as freeters, are embracing part-time and flexible roles, often because stable, full-time job options are limited. Originally, the term freeter described individuals who chose part-time work for a more adaptable lifestyle, but following economic shifts, it has become a practical choice for many. Today, more than 4 million Japanese in their 20s and 30s work as freeters, often managing multiple positions to maintain their livelihood without the assurances that accompany full-time employment. These young adults find work in places like convenience stores and cafes, carefully balancing their finances while managing the realities of flexible work arrangements. Without the consistency and benefits associated with traditional careers, they may feel distance from Japan's workforce culture, which highly values stability and long-term career growth. This lifestyle can influence not only their financial outlook but also their sense of self, as professional success and security hold significant cultural importance in Japan. Additionally, Freeters may experience a sense of separation from the mainstream career path, sometimes feeling outside traditional expectations. This experience can impact mental well-being, as many Freeters report challenges such as stress and worry about the future. They may feel less connected to societal frameworks, facing a future filled with unknowns within a system not fully attuned to their evolving needs. The rise of Freeters points to a broader change in Japanese society, as young adults navigate a job market that has evolved, leaving conventional routes to success less accessible. In the meantime, they continue to persevere, finding their way in a society still adjusting to these new realities. For some, breaking from tradition means more than changing jobs, it means stepping away from society altogether. But what drives so many into complete isolation? Number 9. Isolation and the Hikikomori Phenomenon. A subtle challenge called Hikikomori is taking shape, where some individuals withdraw deeply into solitude, spending extended periods, sometimes months or years, within their rooms, separated from broader social interactions. Initially more common among Japan's lost generation in their 30s and 40s, this pattern is now appearing among younger individuals, with estimates suggesting around 1.5 million people in self-imposed social withdrawal. This response may stem from the high expectations and structured demands characteristic of Japan's society. Consider the life of a hikikomori. They reside in the comfort of a single room, often depending on aging parents who bring them meals to maintain their privacy. For them, solitude becomes a way to manage the rigorous pace and expectations that Japan's work culture often sets. This choice not only influences individuals but also brings concerns for families and the broader economy, as parents, already advancing in age, contemplate who will provide for their children in years to come. The Japanese government has recently introduced initiatives to assist hikikomori with social reintegration, though change is gradual. Japan's long-standing work culture offers limited flexibility for those who may find traditional roles challenging, adding to the complexity of these efforts. This situation encourages Japan to consider adapting its structures to embrace diverse needs, or whether more individuals may continue choosing a path of quiet withdrawal. Number 8. Social isolation and rising mental health challenges. In Japan, discussing mental health can be sensitive due to cultural values that emphasize stoicism and resilience. Seeking support is sometimes viewed as a personal challenge, which can create hesitation around speaking openly, especially among young people and those who experience prolonged isolation, like hikikomori. Despite a rising need for support, Japan has fewer mental health professionals than some other developed nations, making access to care both limited and costly. This shortage can add to feelings of isolation and discourage many from seeking help. Families concerned about societal perceptions may try to handle these situations independently, which can make it harder to navigate the path toward connection. Yet, positive changes are underway. Recent government initiatives and awareness campaigns aim to gradually reduce stigma and increase access to mental health care. Efforts like community counseling and online resources are slowly gaining ground but encounter deeply held beliefs. While progress may be gradual, strides toward improvement continue. Japan is in the early stages of building a more open approach to mental health, with a growing focus on understanding and support. Yet, even in the world outside, Japan faces challenges of a different kind. How safe are Japan's streets and public spaces? Number 7. Harassment and public safety concerns. Although Japan is known for its safety, certain challenges persist within its public transport system, specifically issues involving inappropriate behavior, or chikan, where individuals misuse the crowded conditions of trains to bother other passengers, particularly during peak travel times. While women-only cars on certain routes aim to address the issue, incidents still occur, suggesting there's more complexity to Japan's otherwise orderly environment. Studies indicate that these situations often go unreported, with only around 10% brought to official attention. Many individuals feel uncomfortable or hesitant to speak up, possibly due to social expectations around privacy and a fear of not being believed, which can keep the full scale of the issue from public view. Encouragingly, recent solutions are emerging. In the year 2019, a Japanese company introduced an innovative tool, an invisible stamp that allows a person to mark an individual responsible, identifiable later under a black light, providing a discreet way to respond. Additionally, mobile apps have been developed to help users report incidents and notify nearby authorities, making it increasingly difficult for these situations to go unnoticed. Japan's Chikan issue serves as a reminder that even the safest places may have underlying concerns. Greater awareness and education are key as more people become informed about available resources. The movement towards safer public spaces grows, fostering a more secure environment for all. Despite a reputation for politeness, there's a hidden cultural layer that foreigners rarely see. What lies behind Japan's facade of social harmony? Number 6. Cultural facades, Tatemae and Honne. In Japan, kindness, politeness, and social harmony are central to daily life, often making foreigners feel welcome. However, beneath the warm smiles and polite gestures lies a cultural duality, Tatemae and Honne. Tatemae is the public facade used to maintain harmony, while Honne reflects one's true feelings, usually hidden. This separation is essential to understanding Japanese relationships. For instance, a colleague's compliment on a new hairstyle might just be Tatemae, a way to keep interactions pleasant. This politeness minimizes conflict and ensures smooth social interactions, even if personal opinions are concealed. Yet, this raises a question: does constant adherence to Tatemae allow for genuine connections? Honne is typically shared only with close friends or family, making it rare in everyday life. Foreigners, especially those accustomed to directness, might find this distinction challenging. They may question the sincerity of compliments or friendly gestures, which can create a sense of mistrust. For some, this cultural nuance leads to frustration or loneliness. For others, it's a puzzle to navigate. Ultimately, the balance of Tatemae and Honne in Japan invites reflection on authenticity and the complexity of human connection. And as social expectations shape behavior, even rest becomes a reflection of dedication. Number 5. Public sleeping, Inemuri, a symbol of dedication and exhaustion. In Japan, it's common to see people resting briefly on trains, at desks, or even during meetings, a practice called Inemuri, or sleeping while present. Rather than being a sign of relaxation, Inemuri reflects Japan's dedicated work culture, where long hours are viewed as a commitment to excellence. This form of public rest demonstrates resilience and a commendable work ethic, symbolizing an individual's devotion to their responsibilities. Inemuri is often more accepted among senior professionals who have earned a certain standing, although it comes with guidelines. Resting should appear unintentional, a natural result of a busy schedule rather than seeking comfort to maintain workplace decorum. This practice reflects Japan's cultural value of prioritizing work commitments, where visible fatigue is seen as a sign of dedication. However, it also raises questions about the balance between work demands and well-being. As some Japanese companies explore work-life balance reforms, the role of Inemuri remains in question, symbolizing Japan's evolving approach to work and resilience. This relentless work culture is one side of life in Japan. But what about the everyday expenses that come with it? Number 4. Financial realities and the cost of living. In Japan, buying fruit is more than just a purchase, it's an experience in quality and artistry. Japanese farmers meticulously grow fruits like peaches and grapes, making them among the world's most expensive. A single peach can cost $30, while a bunch of grapes may reach $50. These prices reflect Japan's dedication to agricultural precision and limited farming space. Each fruit is handled with care, often wrapped to protect it from the elements. This meticulous attention ensures flawless shape, taste, and texture. In Japan, quality surpasses quantity, and only the finest make it to market, symbolizing craftsmanship and perfection. The high cost is also due to Japan's limited farmland, requiring efficient use of space and labor-intensive practices, which drive up prices. Japanese fruits are seen as luxury items and are often given as thoughtful gifts, symbolizing respect and appreciation. For many, the high price is justified by the unique flavor and texture, crafted through years of refined technique. Yet, these fruits also highlight Japan's economic challenges. Rising costs mean these indulgences are often out of reach for younger generations. Japan's fruit market reflects a blend of tradition, artistry, and economic realities. Number 3. Natural disasters' resilience in the face of adversity. Living in Japan means accepting nature's unpredictability, especially with frequent earthquakes. Positioned on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Japan experiences hundreds of tremors each year. For newcomers, these can be startling, like a sudden nighttime tremor followed by a smartphone alert. But for the Japanese, it's part of life, shaping their connection to the environment. Over time, Japan has turned this challenge into resilience. Earthquake-proof buildings and early warning systems reflect a national investment in safety. High rises are built to sway, not fall, and infrastructure is designed to withstand severe tremors. This preparedness isn't just technological, it's cultural. In crises, Japanese communities unite, showing a deep spirit of support. After major earthquakes, like the year 2011 Tohoku disaster, neighbors and volunteers work side by side, offering aid and shelter. This collective resilience reflects the Japanese commitment to move forward together. When nature strikes, Japan doesn't just endure, it rebuilds stronger. This shared response speaks to a culture that finds strength in adversity and turns hardship into unity. Number 2. Train-related accidents. Japan's train system is celebrated worldwide for its remarkable speed, efficiency, and punctuality. However, there is a sensitive aspect that is seldom addressed. Many announcements of accidents on the track reflect deeply emotional situations. These events leave a lasting impact, especially on train operators who witness these challenging moments firsthand. Studies indicate that around 16% of Japanese train drivers experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress, and nearly 40% report feelings of depression due to regular exposure to such emotionally difficult situations. In response, Japan has implemented safety features like platform barriers in cities such as Tokyo and Osaka to limit track access and reduce incidents. Additionally, mental health support is available for commuters through hotlines and station resources, while train staff can access counseling. These efforts reflect Japan's commitment to both safety and empathy, as it strives to protect its people and maintain the well-being of its rail system. Even as Japan prides itself on hospitality, there's one issue that remains controversial. Number 1. No foreigners allowed. Japan is known for its hospitality and rich traditions, yet some bars, izakayas, and nightclubs display signs reading "No entry for foreigners," highlighting cultural and language differences. This practice often stems from language barriers, as many small businesses lack English-speaking staff, leading to potential misunderstandings. For instance, a visitor might unknowingly face a high bill after a brief visit to a hostess club, which could cause frustration. Some suggest that instead of excluding visitors, these businesses could adopt multilingual menus or transparent pricing. While many Tokyo establishments embrace these changes, smaller ones may resist due to tradition. Such signs can impact Japan's image, with social media amplifying travelers' negative experiences. As tourism grows, addressing these issues could help Japan share its culture more inclusively. If you liked today's video, please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel GlobeGo. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen now. I am sure you will like this content. Comment below with the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.